ambassadors. They couldn't have picked a better one than the former Blackhawk great, Stan Mikita. 22 seasons here, and the jersey number 21 retired following the 1980 season. As you see, it began in 1958-59 season. Doesn't look a day older than when he first put on the original Blackhawk jersey. Well, no, it wasn't 75 years ago. A pleasure to see you, Stanley.
Well, thank you, Jiggs. Always nice to see you. It is not true that I wore that jersey originally. Before we go any further, I do have one thing to say. The answer is Darcy Rhoda.
There are so many leading questions that come to that. I'll get to the question later, although I guess the Blackhawks probably could have used him and his talents in that second period. Not much going for the Chicago team.
Well, I think they could have used a little bit of something. I'm not sure what. They look a little tight out there. Maybe it's the new sweaters that they're not used to. And I'm not sure how many times they have to wear them, but I think if they can squeak this one out, they'll enjoy those sweaters. They are good looking.
They really are. Stan, your memories of those great years here, the scooter line in particular, with Moans on the left and Warham on the right.
Well, it was. I like to think of it as a different game than it's being played in the NHL right now. We used to pass the puck a lot more across the blue line instead of shooting the puck in and chasing it and bowling over the person that got it in the corner. We would try to maneuver and make the plays. You saw a couple of good plays earlier in the first period. Steve Larmer, to me, is one of the greatest hockey players I've ever seen, and he set up the two Goulet goals. It was fantastic.
Quickly, other than being an ambassador this season, what is Stan Mikita doing?
Stan Mikita is trying to make a living in the Chicago area. I'm in the plastics business, injection molding and so on, manufacturer's rep. I have a partner by the name of Glenn Scove, who was a former teammate of mine.
And a new partner, Darcy Rhoda. What was that all about?
Well, we were trying to figure out. Apparently, you guys just signed a new contract this afternoon with the national TV, with Sports Channel, and I think that's fantastic. And Darcy Rhoda apparently had something to do with it. I think he sharpened the pencils or something like that.
Stan, thanks for the visit. Always good to see you. Thanks for so many wonderful memories over those 22 seasons here with the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks and the Detroit Red Wings are tied 2-2. We're at the end of the second period. More from Chicago Stadium right after this. The Red Wings too. The Chicago Blackhawks had numerous player moves in the offseason, blockbuster trades that received front-page headlines. One acquisition, though, that Mike Keenan made without much fanfare was gaining the services of left wing John Tonelli. Jim Blaney of Sports Channel Chicago reports on one of the newest Blackhawks.
This summer, the Blackhawks bolstered their forward line by acquiring left wing John Tonelli. His fourth Stanley Cup championships with the New York Islanders brings a wealth of experience to the Blackhawks.
It's funny, I've learned a lot through the years, especially the amount of years that I've played in the league, and you learn something new every day. Some things you expect to see and some things you don't, and you have to deal with it.
Tonelli has some Blackhawk connections. He was at one time traded for current Hawk defenseman Steve Conroy when Steve was with the Calgary Flames.
Well, our paths have crossed a couple times. In 1986, right at the trade deadline, I was traded along with another kid named Richie Crom from Calgary to the New York Islanders. And it was the day that we were to play the New York Islanders. So basically what they did was they just wheeled our stuff from the Calgary room down to the New York Islanders dressing room. And we went out for pregame skate around 9:30. And the Flames were to go on after us, and a bunch of the guys were coming in getting ready for the skate, and they saw Richie and I both on the ice, and they couldn't figure it out.
When Tonelli played for the Islanders, he played with now Chicago winger Greg Gilbert and Blackhawk scout Wayne Sutter.
John's going to bring a lot of experience to this team. He's an older guy that some people say, why did you sign an older player? Because you want to bring your average age down on the team. Johnny's going to give you 100% every night, at least 100%. That's a bad night if that's all you get out of John Tonelli.
100% makes Tonelli a Mike Keenan type of player.
He likes to win, and that's what I want to be a part of. And he expects discipline and a lot of hard work, and for me, that's what I like to do, and that's the way I contribute to the hockey team.
The addition of John Tonelli to the lineup certainly solidifies the left side for Chicago.
Barring injury, John Tonelli will play his 1,000th National Hockey League game late next month.